Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Good morning, Jewshine.
Good morning, Jewshine. I'm sorry, I went off mic. Good morning, Jewshine.
No, it was okay in that case.
Oh, yeah. And the only reason why I went off is because I don't have that boom stand yet. So, still have to try and get myself near the mic.
Yeah.
They don't have boom stands.
That could take up to 50 seconds to accomplish ordering that.
I know. I appreciate your concern. I know. It's not easy. They don't have boom stands anymore. They ran out of them. Can you believe it?
It was a boom, apparently.
Oh, mama. Oh, daddy, you took a word and you turned it on its head. How are you, young man? Jungen Mensch?
I am not young, but I'm all right besides that.
You are younger than me, but that's not saying much.
No, I don't know if that's a high bar or a low bar in this case.
It's I don't know.
It's a high number. We know that much.
I still think when the chips are down, you can feel better that I'm an old. Well, I don't know how it would make you feel better, but I am an old, decrepit man.
What is
really?
In this particular scenario? What is the natural state of the chips? Are chips up?
Well, the chips. You mean before you put them down?
Chips are down. A poker expression.
Yes, chips are down. A poker expression, and what they mean is in the old days,
you're losing.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the old days, when you were lose, you had to place your chips lower than the. Did you get that one?
I did. Chef Blowhardy aborts another recipe.
It's a disgusting sound. Phlegm is not. I know you love those Mucinex commercials, but phlegm is not appetizing.
No, but I don't think it's meant to be appetizing in this commercial.
Boom. You're right. You're right. But you don't want to come out of that commercial hating phlegm.
I think you do.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got it wrong then completely. I meant to take some, I'm so glad I didn't say that. I meant to take some Mucinex earlier today. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Do you find that, as a Jew, that anything helps? The joke there is that Jews have an unusual amount of phlegm no matter what you do.
All right.
But that's not that.
And that is where our syllable "hach" comes from.
You're saying if we weren't a phlegmy people, and not in the sense of being from phlegm.
Yeah.
What is that place?
It would be Chanukah. Exactly.
Hey, did you see? Did I talking to you since and have you ever experienced this incredible the Hanukkah parade?
No, I have not.
Okay, did you see the picture I took of it?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So it happens every year. It must happen every year in our area, in our valley area.
Yeah,
and it's people honking the horn. There's police involved. And there's menorah. Basically, there's like Jews driving down the street with menorahs in their car. And they're honking.
Yeah.
And then, so this woman, of course, when someone honks, I don't care who they are. They could be Nazis. I'm going to wave right back.
Sure.
How's it going?
Yeah.
What's happening over there? Hey, you have a skinhead. What's that all about? So, this Jewish, I assume they're Jewish. They're like, she started yelling at me from the car. So I go, yes. I couldn't hear what she said. Are you going to, something about, are you going to do the lights tonight? She said, was last night the first night of Hanukkah?
Yes.
Oh, how's that? This is ridiculous. It can't be that soon. I understand that it can't be the same day as Thanksgiving. Come on. And then we wonder why no one likes us.
I'm still trying to untangle this parade fantasy you're describing.
Oh, no, I'm not making it up. It really is true. I didn't realize that's what you were angling for. A fabrication story. No. It's such a. Well, I wouldn't call it a parade, but first of all, the police are involved in a good way. The police are going, "Hey, enjoy everybody,
Clear the way. It's Hanukkah.
clear the way." They were traveling towards Studio City.
Yeah.
I hope that. Yeah, they weren't
Makes
even
sense.
causing.
They were headed east, which makes sense. If you're facing east, it's good.
Because the sun's going down.
No, because you're facing the temple in Jerusalem.
No, we don't believe that.
When you pray, you face east in Judaism.
No, we don't.
Yes,
Do we?
Yes.
I thought that was the Muslims face east.
No.
Which way do they face?
They probably face towards Mecca, wherever they're from.
You know what joke I'm going to go for right now? I think you could tell.
I'm
What are the temples called?
what temples called?
Islamic temples are called. What are they called? Islamo?
Oh, boy.
It's a hashush.
Oh.
It's a hashish. You can't even say it's a kafstashram.
No, you've blanked out my brain.
Okay, well, all the Islamic temples are built north and south. They go facing north and south.
Right.
And you can go east and west in it too.
Right.
Still can't think of the Islamic version of a temple.
No, I went to Midrash, which is a school, and now a Midrasa.
Come on, they go meet you over here. Try this way. Hey, are you Muslim? I'm Muslim. See you at
Temple.
It is actually a temple. They're all temples in a certain sense, aren't they?
It's a mosque is the word we're looking for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I just needed to shut you out for a moment.
Well, we're not stuff you should know. People don't come, I'll never forget it now though. Mosque.
Yes, I just had to completely blank your voice out in my head.
They go, you're saying it's not an Islamo? They don't go to an Islamo?
It's an Isglue.
Islam house. Come down to Islam house. Okay, look, I'm not doing bits about Islam, okay?
There's not a lot of future in Islamophobic puns. No.
Oh, God. It's unbelievable. But we have fun here. So, but no, I do still want to clarify that there's no specific cardinal direction rules for Jews, are there?
Jews face east when you pray, yes.
It's just you're just lying. Is that why in other words, is that why when I was in Northern Boulevard?
Back the app listeners here on our Jew line, 1-800-Jew.
Hello, Jew line. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you? Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. Why, you really do sound Jewish over there.
Well, I really am Jewish.
Good. Now, sir, may I ask you, my question to you, sir, is I was told by my friend, Josh Elvis Weinstein. Know him?
Yeah, I like how that spells Jew.
You're very friendly for someone who answers a phone at a Jewish hotline.
It's a mitzvah that I'm here.
It's a mitzvah, yeah. Now, I'm right about this. Settle a bet. When you pray, a Jewish person, the direction that they're facing in never matters, right? Is that someone, he told me that to pull my leg. You clear it up, sir.
You're a reform, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Thank you.
They didn't fill in the gaps very well.
No, they didn't. So what are you saying to me?
You face east. Now go to shul.
Okay, I'll go to shul. And if you had to recommend a brand of matzah, what would you say? Fleischmann's?
Manischewitz all the way.
The kosher parts of a supermarket and the ethnic parts of a supermarket, they're all fake, right? They're all like what people 100 years ago, you could get LaChoy Chinese food in there.
Which ethnic markets are we talking about?
Every supermarket seems to have an ethnic area. It's like Ralph's has this like a 4-mile length thing. It starts out, you have pretzels, you get chasam, you get chaza. I'm very happy with my performance so far on the show, today's show.
Yeah? Oh, good.
No, I'm not kidding. This is good. I need you to accept it. Say, yes, Andy. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I had to punch myself in the balls to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to do that?
Well, no, I've had to punch you in the balls to get you to calm down.
And then you went, I can't even do your impression of me. No, hello, I'm your penis droopy. How's it going? I'm your soft penis droopy. Shut up.
Please stop hitting me. Please, for the love of God, stop hitting me.
I am going. What do you mean the Viagra won't work if you keep hitting yourself in the penis? Folks, this could be the worst bit that's ever been. This is the worst conversation now I'm turning it into.
His penis doesn't work.
Oh, man. So what did you get for the first night?
I got nothing.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
You guys don't do anything, right? You're not crazy over there.
We
Right?
did light the menorah.
I know.
But that was my Christian wife who wanted to do that.
Do you ever sing to her? You're my Christian wife. You know, I think of her as Jewish. I don't know why I think of Allison as Jewish. I don't think McLeod is a Jewish name.
It's not at all, no.
She never saw a Jew before she dated you. Well, she did because she was in.
Well, she married one before she met me, yes.
You were the second Jew.
Yes.
What do you think that is? It's almost like a reverse Semitism.
It's Semitism.
It's Semitism. Are you anti-Semitism or pro? I'm a Semitism. I'm a Semite. Remember the very same people who are the monster, who tell you that the monster is the person who tells you who the monster is, would also say, we are also Semitic people. The Arabs are Semitic.
You're going after the Arabs again?
No. I'm not going after. I'm going after the Jew who says, we're actually both of our groups are Semitic.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, those are people trying to make peace.
That's the Jew trying to make peace.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm making fun of the accent.
Blessed are those people.
No. I'm not trying to get upside down with the people who are on my side. Although that's what I do on my off hours. Get into arguments. But in this particular case, I forgot what I was saying, but I was doing good there. I was on a roll.
In the Kindler Bible, annoying are the peacemakers.
Look, I'm a Jewish voice for peace. I hope you are too.
You are not a Jewish voice for peace, Andy.
No, I don't mean. No, I don't mean me as a part. I happen to belong to the organization, which only requires me to follow them on Twitter.
Well, that's good.
And
minimal buy-in.
Years ago, I told them they were talking to me about something, and I said, they said, I'm afraid of getting Roseanne upset or something like that. Roseanne used to follow me before she became an anti. No, she's like so pro-Semite, you would get out of her way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she's calmed down with all that stuff or what the hell's happening.
I don't think she's on Twitter any longer, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would make sense. But I mean, I don't know if like in her regular life, she's writing right-wing sitcoms or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I can even apply the phrase regular life to Roseanne.
I saw an interesting thing I want to tell you about. It's called The Unexplained Mind. It's on I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And David Byrne was on one.
Yeah.
And he was just great.
Was he talking about his spectrum ness?
Oh, I didn't know that. Is he?
Yeah, I don't know how diagnosed, but he considers himself in the on the sort of Asperger autism spectrum.
Wow. Yeah, he was talking about music and that he just had to be creative, and that he was talking about when he, like you have to try different. He was talking about working with Eno, and Eno's thing was like that when you're art, the process of creating art is more like you're gardening and you're seeing how the thing grows, and then you're kind of like exchanging information with that thing to build it,
Right.
as opposed to it's a fixed thing that you're carving out of something.
Right.
So David Byrne was talking about that he happened to go in the store and he happened to just get there used to be an international section in the store. He just pulled this thing out by random because he liked the album cover, and when he went home, it was one of those it was Afro pop, and that's how he got into that whole zinga zing, zangy zungy boing, bangy zangy zoom, zangy zangy papa da 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 bo, beep beep ba da da bo, papa ba da da bo, papa ba da da bo.
So he unlocked the keys to cultural appropriation.
Well, that's as soon as I heard that, I thought to myself, oh, I remember which came first, the Graceland or Ezimbra?
I believe Ezimbra preceded Graceland.
Well, that's pretty cool, because Graceland was maybe like 1980 or something, 81.
Yeah, but they weren't pulling from the same African pool.
Oh, see, I in my mind, in my simplistic mind, said, well, they showed those instruments. He showed those instruments like a instrument with a thumb that you operate a drum with a thumb.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize. I felt like there was some similarity melodically to some of the stuff Paul Simon was drawing on, to some of the stuff David Byrne was drawing on. But obviously, I don't think I was right.
Well, I mean, like you said, he was pulling from Afro techno pop,
right?
And it seems like Paul Simon was in a more South African thing, and there wasn't that much alternative instrumentation. There was just different time signatures and stuff.
But the Ezimbra lyrics were written by a Dadaist guy. They're nonsense lyrics.
Right. I knew that.
And it's interesting because he actually is so much warmer when he talks sometimes. Like he was really warm and I could get what he was saying, whereas maybe I don't read that well, so it was a problem.
Well, and I think it's another one of those people change over 40 years as well.
Yeah. Absolutely right. And it used to be like, I used to think that the Talking Heads were the greatest. I mean, they were my favorite group. I was obsessed with them.
Yeah.
But I used to think of him that there was not a cynicism, but almost like a sarcasm to what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was. In other words,
no, but I don't think that's true either. I think there was a sarcasm to what he was doing, but I think it was directed and not towards the audience, towards capitalism, essentially.
Well, I think the lyrics are extremely, they're very not cynical, but they're very, you can tell the life during wartime. All of that stuff, it was scary. He's obviously writing about stuff that's scary, but he seems to like the music that he dances to and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It comes from a separate part, not from a separate part, but it's more celebratory. Always.
Yeah. No, I never really saw him as cynical. I saw because of I think anybody who's always looking for more possibilities by the very nature isn't cynical.
Yeah. I think I may be misusing the word. I thought of him as very kind of like
Well, I think you said sarcastic. So
right, that's why I was it. But also just like an art school kind of we're joking, but I don't think it was that way.
Well, it was glib.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Right.
And in a lot of ways, it came from that same glibness as Devo had going, which is, we are both outside and a part of society kind of position,
Right. And also like the lyrics on Psycho Killer are they are. I mean, I think his lyrics are funny in a way.
Yeah.
You know, because he's. I hate people when they're not polite. All that stuff.
Well, I think Once in a Lifetime is a very funny song.
Well, that's right. I was just thinking about those lyrics. I know it's not a funny song, right?
No, it is. I mean, just the whole "How did I get here?" feeling.
Right. He's amazing to me because, like, Randy Newman almost always writes from a point of view that is separate from him, and David Byrne can, but actually I'm wrong, because Randy Newman just writes beautiful love songs that aren't necessarily at all. What's the word I'm looking for? That, like, where Randy Newman's singing about slavery, but you don't know he's singing about slavery. What style is there?
Well, I mean, it's in character, and often steeped in irony.
That's what I think it was. Like, don't have to run through the jungle and scuff up your feet.
Right. Is
a funny line. And
the fact that the narrator is trying to sell people on slavery.
Right. So it's funny it's like funny in the sense that boom goes Russia, boom Paris is funny.
Right.
It's funny and also scary.
Yeah, well, and often he's just speaking in the voice of a simpleton.
But yeah, I don't want to hurt no kangaroos.
Right.
We'll build an all-American amusement park there. And also, but here's the thing that I know I'm all over the map, but when he does I Love L.A., see, I think that is a perfect song. That song is sarcastic, and that's what makes it a great anthem.
Right.
And would you think
it's a shallow anthem to a shallow city.
That's right. But don't you think that people in L.A. get that it's a shallow anthem?
Yeah,
well,
of course.
Yeah.
But it's just been embraced.
Yeah, no one actually before the song went 6th Street. We love it.
Yeah, no, the joke was he was listing all these very mundane streets where nothing was happening.
And we love it. Oh, God. A lot of my life is spent appreciating people who are talented and just saying, wasn't that good?
Yeah. Is that so bad, though, really?
It's not so bad. But also, I mean, really, I'm not trying to say, like, sometimes I say to myself, what are you bragging about? But I'm not really bragging, but I'm really kind of like, it's not surprising I got obsessed by the Talking Heads.
Right.
I felt like there weren't many other groups that were doing what they were doing at that time.
No, I'm still obsessed with Talking Heads.
I know.
I mean, in some ways, they are like exactly what I think pop should be, because of the sarcasm and because of the whimsy element and because, and because of Stop Making Sense and trying to make a concert into something a little more,
Yeah.
It's like, I love that they painted with the whole canvas, not just songs, Right.
I just can't think of him at all. It's like he really is an extraordinary performer because he really is. I love his voice. I love everything he does.
And the thing that he has the weirdest brand of joy.
That's right.
It's like this low key, like a deadpan joy, which is really hard to capture, and so appeals to me.
And can write the most beautiful love song, like songs like.
Very few love songs, though.
Yeah, what is that one? I'm just an animal looking for that song.
It's Naive Melody.
Yeah.
This must be the place.
That's such a beautiful song.
But it's a love song about home.
Yeah. Home. His thing about home is similar to Sam Shepard's thing about home. I did think of the first song. I don't want you mocking me. I mean, you can mock me, but I do. I said you can mock me, but you don't have to do it with your voice.
Okay. I'm doing it with my face now.
I know the first song.
You should see my face right now. You totally should.
I really should?
Yeah.
Hey, are you not looking at me,
and what my
right?
hand is doing.
You're not looking at me, though, right?
No.
I can't see you.
No, that's the best part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. I was on to something that time. something about David Byrne, something about this, something about that. Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot.
What are you gonna do? You can't. You know what? You can't win for losing sometimes.
Something weird is happening.
What happened?
Just with our connection, but you're still here, so.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing happened on my end.
All right.
If that helps.
It does help.
Okay.
All right.
All right. This is the big month for you.
It is a big month.
It's crunch time. You have too many things going on.
I got a lot of shit going down this month.
Right.
Next 2 weeks, I'm spending half the week at night in Santa Barbara with Rich Scheidner. And then we're doing the play here again in L.A. Then
wow.
Then I'm going to Minneapolis. Then I'm coming back, and it's Christmas. Then I get my torso cut into.
Have you mentioned on the... Now, I'm assuming that's related to the surgery.
No, that's a side. That's bucket list shit.
I never saw that movie. That seems like a great movie.
It's on my list.
You know what do you know what the number one is on my list?
What's that?
A jerry can.
I don't get it.
On your bucket. That's the best. That's my favorite bucket.
Ah.
You said that like you were acknowledging it's a joke at a meeting of comedians who are writing something. Ah, okay, good. Let's get on to today's business.
Right.
You gotta admit, I'm pretty funny. Right?
Yeah, over a long-term graph, yes.
Didn't you think that was adorable or cute or whatever the word is when Ken Jennings had to apologize for a joke that was too like dad-like?
No, I don't know. I didn't see it, and you've brought this up before, so I still don't.
Okay, because here's what the doctor said: if I bring it up a third time,
yeah,
and don't seem to have, and within 5 minutes of bringing it up before, and don't seem to have any memory. That's when you have to...
Is this something he did on Jeopardy or on Twitter?
Yes, it's on Jeopardy where everybody started to make fun of the quality of his pun.
Ah.
And you do admit now that I've sent you enough evidence about how people are stealing my comedy.
No,
right?
You've sent me no actual evidence. And I still go, narcissist.
Hey, let me tell you something. If that's what you figured out about me, nice. That's a great genius. You could said that in the first 5 minutes when I met you and I had a mirror. When I was at a mirror, I carried around a pocket mirror. When I was looking at my pocket mirror while I was talking to you. I wish I had seen it. Have you read the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, or is it good?
I believe it's a short story.
All right, I can do it then too. Hey, I'm kind of talk about short stories. I never got as tall as I wanted to be. You see, you've had a lot of pain in your life, but you don't have the pain of your parents debating whether they should take you to a growth hormone doctor and making the Mickey Rooney comments from an early age. You didn't have that.
No, I had fatness as my hair shirt.
I am trying to think now. I think being small, the smallest person.
That was my genetic albatross.
I don't think being the shortest male in my school was as bad as that, as worrying about your weight. That I think it was more painful, probably. Right?
I think it probably was. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of thought I was cute at my height.
I think a lot of people thought the short guys were cute.
Yeah, until junior high school, when you had to.
Yeah, they aren't a mating choice.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean like in junior high school, other men who are up to no good and who physically look at you and go, "Look at that fucking short guy." They. That's how bullies have fun during. I'm just talking about my own junior high school experience. I'm not saying everybody,
right?
But I had a lot of bullying.
Yeah.
I don't care who your brother is. I'm going to kick your ass. Right. Oh, okay. See you in the lunchroom.
And your brother was a millionaire at the time too.
I called my brother. I said, they're picking on me. I said, look, he goes, look, Andy, I got you. I don't have your back, but I'm sending Jorge.
Right.
I just came up with the Jorge name.
It was good to ethnicize it.
No, we have a problem with physical, being you've heard all these things. I'm scared of fighting and all that kind of stuff. My brother and my father could defend themselves, though. I was like a tiny man.
Yeah, but you're a tiny man with Taekwondo wrapped up in your
Well,
genes.
now I wouldn't mess with me.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't mess with me because you know, I could hurt myself. I was trying to come up with some kind of joke.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I'm not taking Taekwondo anymore. Because I'm glad that I'm not taking it from the person I was.
Yeah,
But
it sounds like that had gotten to be a bad scene.
it was a bad scene.
Yeah.
But there isn't a part of me that goes, you know what? I think in a couple of years, when I'm maybe when I'm 70, I'll start up again, big time.
No, I think the days are done.
Yeah, and I'm not sad about it either because I have,
Yeah.
look what I have to show.
The last
for it.
step will be the autoerotic asphyxiation with your black belt.
I've tried that a couple, and then maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like almost die. I don't get the
That goes
fun
straight
part.
to asphyxiation.
What is the part? If you could, like, I
Well,
have
your
a
dick
pen.
has to work, Andy.
Okay, I'm writing it down. I'm jotting it down. How do I get the joy out of almost ending
All right.
my breathing? I'll try it now and see how it feels. No, I don't even like it. I don't even like it when I'm just grabbing my own throat. I'm not being stupid. I do realize that there must be a sexual thrill to asphyxiation. Not the way you do it.
No, not the way I did.
Oh, I'm watching true crime and I'm making jokes about this. Oh no, I'm not getting desensitized by watching Buried in the Backyard 17 hours a day. Why do they make
I live in a
jokes?
condo. What's the problem?
Seriously, Josh, who picks the show Buried in the Backyard, Dismembered in Your Basement? When they use this whole thing...
I don't even go to that part of the programming grid, Andy, so I don't see those shows.
No, but if you've seen these kind of like ads that go, they're killing more murder on this serial killer special than you'll ever see. It's an orgy. I mean, they are kind of like trying to reel you in with, oh, you're going to see some horrible things here.
Right.
I don't like that.
No.
Well, maybe I do.
Apparently you do.
Don't say that. I watched a little bit. About Muhammad Ali that I love him, right?
I do know that, yes.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, I just watched a little bit of the Ken Burns thing, right? Because he's got all the footage of everybody's life. And then just after 20 minutes, it doesn't look like I'm watching Muhammad Ali's story. It's Ken Burns' story again.
Yeah.
Somehow. Is everybody he covers really an extension of himself? Did you see that one? I mean, I kind of do want to see that one.
I did. I saw the whole thing, in fact.
And it was great, right?
It was okay. I mean, there wasn't that much new information because I've watched.
Right, so
I've watched other Ali docs.
Yes.
We talked about this before. The thing that I thought was good about it was seeing actually some more of the fights and the story of the individual.
Oh,
fights
okay. Then that makes
that
me
I
want
had
to see
never
the rest.
seen as a kid.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I understand the chronology of his career a little better,
Yeah.
and the fighter he was before the layoff and the fighter he was after were different fighters.
And I didn't remember that after
Like the worst thing
Larry
that could
Holmes-
happen to him was realizing he could take a punch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much amazing that he. I don't think he realized that early on in his career.
Well, he
that
didn't need to because he was fast enough to dodge them.
That's exactly. But when he was able to dance around with having been blinded for a round by Liston, that was pretty amazing. I mean, he's such an amazing athlete. But I didn't remember the Trevor Burbick. I forgot that he fought Trevor Burbick after Larry Holmes.
Yeah.
Because it really does seem like if he could have avoided those couple of last fights, I don't know. Maybe he would have gotten the Parkinson syndrome from the 3 Frazier fights. I mean, maybe the damage was done, but they shouldn't have let him fight.
No. But who the fuck says no to Muhammad Ali?
Nobody.
Besides Ferdy Pachenko.
And also, I love both Angelo Dundee and Ferdy. Is it Ferdy?
Yeah.
That's just my nickname. He's the fight doctor.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, all my documentary energy is still in Beetleland. So.
Yes, can you give us an update on? You said you'd tell us more.
I did. I watched the last 2 episodes, and definitely got way less dreary than the first when they moved to the Apple studios from the Twickenham studios.
Oh, okay.
They had to get George back first.
Where was he?
He had quit. And they had one meeting that these were off-camera meetings with George, but apparently Yoko went to the first one and did a lot of John's talking, which wasn't productive. So that's the only evidence of bad Yoko behavior in the whole thing, really.
Right.
But I really think John was like on something heavy for a lot of this.
You mean like heroin?
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird. I mean, it's not weird. I know he had taken heroin.
Yeah, I think that was happening at the time.
Just by the way he was talking?
Just by the varying energy levels and the sort of nodding offness at times.
And Yoko was taking it too at the same time.
I think so. There's one time on camera where he asked Yoko for his pep pills, but
right,
not on camera, but on mic, you hear it. It's like a very weird glimpse into this, what was happening then, and it totally sort of reshuffles, the sort of thumbnail sketch of what was going on with them. But it was amazing to watch from the process standpoint of just watching this album come together from nothing.
Yeah.
Or at least this music coming together. It didn't ultimately come together as an album. They walked away. But, and then the personal stuff and all the shit that was going on and looking at it from a position of actually feeling like you're older than the Beatles now.
Yeah.
Like you get immersed into it enough so that you feel like you're watching these 20-some-year-old guys and going, well, yeah, of course they're fucking restless. They all have a world of possibilities on their own that they don't have to ask 3 other dudes about, And clearly they were all sick of Paul, and Paul was actually very, I think, ultimately generous and copping to his shit.
Where did he cop to it? You mean during the process?
Yeah, just copping to being a control freak, essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was clear that Lennon had piggybacked on George's displeasure to unload on McCartney too, and I think McCartney, took it in a manly way. And was trying to hold the shit together.
And where would you place like Ringo?
Ringo was silent, basically.
Really?
I mean, he was and I think you need that guy.
Yeah.
He was present and silent. Basically, was his position throughout the whole thing.
What was it like to hear him play more drums? I always liked his drumming. Was it fun?
Yeah, of course. It's fun to hear him. I mean, at some point, it's like there's way too much fucking noodling and, running through rock and roll songs from Hamburg gets a little old, but, and them singing in funny voices, committed to funny voices.
It's like watching them do Donald Duck.
A lot of it is just like, here, feel what was going on,
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like something that we're entitled to, but it does feel like this great document of going, oh, okay. Now, these are human beings, not cartoons, and they are neither as smart nor as dumb as you think.
Well, that had to be part of the Beatle thing for all of us.
Like watching John Lennon getting sucked in by Alan Klein, going to meetings with him and coming back like, oh, he knows me better than you do, and it's Jesus, and he shows Glyn Johns like really trying very subtly but hard to dissuade him from going with Alan Klein, going, yeah, he's a weird guy, and that didn't take. So he's like, yeah, well, he'll like, I let, he'll say something and then you'll start talking And if he doesn't like what you're saying to him, he'll just change the subject. I don't like that. You know, and he's really very subtly trying to tell John, this guy's fucking trouble. But it didn't take.
Well, that was also.
So that's what really Peter Jackson kind of plants on the horizon as, you know, the foreboding cloud that's really going to break up the Beatles, you know.
Yeah, I think that I thought that they all admitted later, though, that Alan Klein was a thief, right?
Yeah, later they did, you know, and so did the Stones after they spent years in litigation with him, and you know.
And
but you know, but McCartney never signed with him, and that was the fatal blow, really.
Oh.
The other three signed with Alan Klein to represent them and all the Beatles business, and McCartney didn't because he hated him, and he had his girlfriend's family behind him.
Yeah. Was the father a lawyer? Was that what his thing was?
I think
Eastman?
these were her brothers, or the Eastman, John Eastman, and the other one, Lee Eastman. I think were both entertainment lawyer, either siblings or in the family.
Well, of course, I'm going to watch.
And they had warned them about Alan Klein too. So.
Yeah. All of the folk. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Nothing.
All of the folklore, you're saying.
All the folklore is like, all the folklore is not true. Stuff like either when I used to think that Paul McCartney was all the problem, and I used to think that, and I never bought that Yoko was the problem because I was a big John Lennon fan.
Well, and Yoko was a problem, but it was one that McCartney was willing to get over, you know, and there's a great scene.
Yeah.
It's a great scene where they're all just sitting there going, what the fuck's going to happen? Where George hasn't come back yet. And Paul, and Paul's going, there has to be some compromise. You know, I don't mind Yoko. She's not doing anything bad. If it came down to John picking between the Beatles and Yoko, he would pick Yoko. So, you know, if I start to compromise, maybe they'll compromise too, but neither of us compromising isn't working. So, so he was, he was coming from a fairly reasonable point of view. And he literally said, and I'm sure Peter Jackson just got a total erection when he saw this, there's a clip of him saying, won't it be ridiculous in 50 years when they're going, they broke up because she sat on an amp.
Right. That's so funny. But the thing is though, too, like the performance of Get Back is so electric, in the original movie.
Yeah.
Did you see more songs performed?
Yeah, they showed the entirety of the rooftop concert, which included repeating like 3 songs.
What do you mean? Like repeating them again?
Yeah.
Oh, so they did like Get Back a couple times.
They did Get Back a couple times. I think they did I Dig a Pony a couple times. They did a few of them.
Wow.
Because they only had a handful that were ready to go for the rooftop thing.
I see. And the thing that was so great to me about that was it made me feel like just relating to them from a musician's point of view, like, if when you're really having fun with the people you're playing with, and then you see how cold it is. Yeah. It's so exciting that scene to me.
Yeah, and it was, and the whole and now that seeing everything that led up to it, it's even more sort of exciting, and you get a lot of sort of compassion for them because you see that it's like they've had this blow up. Now George comes back and things are a lot warmer, and they are in fact listening to him more, and they are making good on their promises largely. And then Billy Preston comes in and joins them, and then everyone's behavior goes up another notch.
That's amazing because
so it's not it's just the acrimony kind of goes away, and it sort of translates into drudgery and confusion as to what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they're building all these songs into, these things that we know almost genetically now,
I want to see everything I saw when I was higher than. I think did I also tell you that from one of these true crime shows I'm listening to that the acid that I was taking at school in the 70s was incredibly stronger than most of the acid that's taken now. It was like I might have had Owsley acid, and stuff like that. And she was, and this is what that person was saying. I never realized that. I never realized that it was, that they, you know what I mean? Like I know that. But I naively thought LSD was LSD,
Yeah.
but it's not really, because Owsley really was a genius the way he made his LSD. So I don't know what entailed that, but I was so high. I'd like to hear all the things I heard. Like, it's been a long time since I saw that live performance of Revolution, which is like mind blowing. I don't know what it's from.
They did some just one-off films.
Yeah. And they do Revolution. They did it 2 ways, right?
Well, 3 if you count Revolution number 9.
I don't count that one.
But there's the single, and then there's Revolution number 1, which was shooby-doo wop wop wop. You
Yeah,
say revolution, shooby-doo.
Bop, bop. Oh, so it's so amazing. And now that I know that was a John. I hope I'm not wrong. That was John Lennon, right?
I think so. I see it as a Lennon McCartney.
But because I'm still very naive about which ones are which, and I often make a mistake. But I just think the lyrics to me was one of my favorite lines of all time. But if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. I mean, just the whole idea. He just completely captured the whole people like Jane Fonda wearing the North Vietnamese thing. Like confusing the revolution with the that Mao was a fucking murderer,
Right.
I guess none of those things you relate to him that much, because I was like relating to him when I was going through it.
Right.
The first time. So I was like a little kid trying to figure it out.
Well, so was I. It just wasn't in the world that which it was created.
Yeah. So what am I, such a big shot? Oh, you don't have the same experiences, Josh, because I was there when it happened.
Right.
I was 7 goddamn years old.
Right.
I could tell from my street cred, my street experience by then.
Back when you were sous chef blowhardy.
Well, the thing that's terrible is that I do think there's if I look at myself in one way, it's like just all blowhardy.
Yeah.
I was here. I saw the Jets beat the Oakland Raiders. I saw Joe Namath play. I was at Chase. Fuck you, you stupid. Who cares, you stupid? Well, I wouldn't call myself. How do I insult myself? Not to call myself a Jew. What are you telling people? You think you're the only fucking person who was ever at Shea Stadium? You idiot.
I actually started writing this as an uncompleted song of mine, but the chorus is, I was there, man. I was there.
That's a great song. That is so true. I mean, for my sister, I think it was, or anybody in my sister's position, you could see how your whole life, because Susan was in the same position too. She's not as old as my sister was, but it was like one of the few good things that our mothers did for them.
Right.
Her mother took her to the Beatles. My mother took my sister to the Beatles.
Yeah.
So then you can see my sister not forgetting that for the whole rest of her life.
Sure. The one time mom was cool.
And of course, Susan, as a little photographer, even at that age, was like, these people who are in the grandstands taking flash photography, those flashes are not going to illuminate their subject.
Did she take any photos?
Oh, I don't think so. I think that was even below. No, I don't think so. Well, maybe she did. I have to ask her about that. I get the feeling she didn't, though, because I just don't think she was old enough then. Maybe it was a couple of years after that she. I have pictures of her on the beach with her little camera, with her cute little camera.
No.
Isn't she the cutest thing? And Allison is
Cool.
Am I going to recognize the dogs? Are they different? Do they have they changed their hairstyles so many times now?
Yeah, they're both sporting mullets now.
Yeah, and I don't even. They don't seem to know me, Josh. Nope, that happens.
Yeah,
they speak a different language now.
that's right.
Oh, what's that dog that goes where he laughs? And he was famous for his laughing.
The I don't know, the Hanna-Barbera one is what you're talking.
Yeah. It's just so funny to me that I see myself as a snob when it comes to like sitcoms and things like that. But when I was a kid, I could watch Huckleberry Hound for 40 hours.
Right.
I thought that Yogi Bear was the funniest goddamn thing. Quick Draw McGraw. And I was watching all the bad cartoons.
Well, you haven't named any of the bad cartoons yet.
Huckleberry Hound.
No.
Quick Draw McGraw.
Gold.
You think they were good?
They were good enough.
Flintstones?
Yes, loved it.
Well, I did love Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, that was funnier than the Hanna-Barbera for sure.
Yeah, but that was actually funny.
Yes.
The Hanna-Barbera, I wasn't aware that they don't change the backgrounds. I was like, boy, this is really fascinating.
The Flintstones sure have a lot of couches.
Boy, how do they afford all these sets? I don't know. Who made those, the ones that were Tom Slick or George of the Jungle? That was somebody else?
George of the Jungle might have been a Jay Ward. I can't swear to anything.
Was this Jay Ward, he's the person who wrote Rocky?
And Bullwinkle, not the boxing movie.
Right, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. And did he do the voices of anything?
I don't think he did.
Oh, but he was the main one. He was the main guy.
Yeah.
Is his name Jay North?
Jay Ward.
Ward.
Jay North played Dennis the Menace.
all these things. I can remember being home from school because I was sick and thinking Dennis the Menace was entertaining. Was even Dennis the Menace is watchable.
That's a threshold I never crossed.
It is a terrible, almost a depressing show because the Dennis the Menace character seems like he's like 30 years old at some points.
Yeah.
And then I guess when I was really young, I could buy these.
Mr. Wilson on that show had no edge. By the way, Jay Ward did do George of the Jungle and Crusader Rabbit and Tom Slick and Super Chicken.
Well, so he was but was he also a person who drew cartoons too? I don't understand how it works.
Well, I assume that's how he started. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how he started. That's what happened. But I'm drawing a real Mel Blanc about it. You think I'm funny? Do you think I was funny?
I can't believe you would take a foray into that kind of pun.
I don't get it. I just don't even get
June
it.
Foray, voice of Rocky.
Oh, come on. That's not fair. Who's Bob Fiore?
That's a different name and a different universe. I'm not just going name association now.
I'll do it. Ilya Kuryakis.
I already cleared up your J conundrum.
I'll start. Ilya Kuryakis.
Jackie, you've been around for a long, long time now. Does adverse criticism bother you, or do you have a thick skin about that?
No, it doesn't. The only criticism that I value comes directly from an audience. If they're not, and incidentally, a comedian's whole life is run by immediate criticism. He tells a joke, and if the laugh isn't there, he knows right away he's bombing. Mm-hmm. A dancer has a couple of choruses to dance to impress an audience. A singer has a couple of choruses to charm a group. In a play, you have a whole 2.5 hours to make your point and to win an audience. But when a comedian walks out on the stage and he says, a funny thing happened, it better be funny, because the audience will tell him right away. It's an immediate criticism. That's why comedy is so tough to do.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you? Are you?
I can't do it. Forget it.
I can't believe you haven't gotten a read yet on that line.
I cancel. Can we cancel?
If you're going for natural phone answering,
yeah,
just do hello.
Yeah.
Do hello.
Okay. Let's practice. Let's practice it, right?
All right.
Hello.
Hey, Andy.
How's it going?
Good. Do you want to do a show?
Why do I sound? Who have I killed? Why have I killed someone?
Here, let's do it one more time. 911, what's your emergency?
You know what I don't like with the 911?
What's
Why
that?
do they ask me fire or why do I have to have a choice? I'm already upset,
Yeah.
ladies and germs.
Because they can get started.
Yeah.
while you're telling your little story,
Yeah.
they can get started getting on their way.
Hey, I don't know. My wife just shot me in the head.
It gives them some slide down the pole time.
My wife just stabbed me in the heart. Maybe a little fire and a little.
It burns. Is that some? What does that tell you?
Does that mean you're going to have to call the, that's not the bunco squad, but when you have a fire?
Yes. I have a swindle going on here. Call the bunker.
Really?
squad.
Yeah, that's right. It's a grift going on. I have a 211 grift in progress. Oh my God. Can we end it now? This is great.
I know, it's such good feelings and coherence.
No, I agree with you that it is sad, just on a human level, to see me stumble so early in the show.
Did you say? I don't think that's fair to say you agree with me.
Why do you don't think I
don't
have
think
the
I don't think I had asserted that. Except for your
Look,
hello.
you're right.
Your hello is shitty. I guess I did.
You're right. You're right. You're right. My internal bleeding is. I don't know where I was going with that. That's why I think it's too. That's why I want to push it back a little bit, like till 11, because sometimes I'm talking. I may not be up. How do I know I'm up?
I don't know. I kind of like I like the mystery.
That's right. Hey, isn't that like a joke from a guy in the 50s? Like what's the mystery? And then Thursday, it's the surprise me meat. It's got to be a joke like that, right?
Yeah,
It's today's Thursday soup.
Yeah. I didn't hear the setup, honestly.
I know. I was just going to outweight you. Thursdays, no. It's like, like the food, jokes about food is where it was going with that.
Okay.
Sometimes I really
like
do
Taco Tuesday? I don't know exactly what you were doing.
Is that how you're showing how you can relate to something?
I just heard food and days, and that's all I could sort out from all that.
I just want to say, not that this is important, but I don't like the idea of Taco Tuesday. It sounds like very pedestrian to me.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It's a little basic, as the kids might say.
Yeah. Yeah. You cut me off and then say you have to go.
But what about Prince Spaghetti Day?
In the can?
Better let him out. I don't know.
What is Prince Spaghetti? That's not is that a Minnesota brand?
No.
Work with me.
No, I will not.
It's a sad duo.
I believe Cremettes is, however.
You believe what is?
Cremettes.
Oh, Cremettes. That's right. Well, I know about Cremette because you know this. It's in my favorite run when I first got to Minneapolis when I was still running.
Yeah.
I ran down by the ruins of the, is that what it is? Is it ruined over there? of the paper, of the taco factory, of the flour factory.
When the old taco factory burned down, the city went into a blight.
Oh my God. We're on to something though today. A lot of people say, they worry about us at the beginning of the, we're supposed to be Friday today, first of all. So I don't know what end is up.
Right. I appreciate you making the adjustment for
me. I think by this point that I like I'm a team player in many ways.
Yes. Andy, nothing if not flexible Kindler.
Yes. And pleasant about it.
Yes.
And add another adjective.
A third one,
Jewy.
Perhaps?
Yeah, third one. I'm so sick of my own structure, too.
Yeah.
Why don't you do the third one? You know what it's like?
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of pizza commercials doing your structure.
Yeah. And as when you come down to the hut or something similarly funny. I am getting to the point where if I am losing it, and I'm not saying I have dementia, but I think I'm going to be a pleasant guy, like a guy who's not sad that he's forgetting where he is.
I think there'll be phases.
I hope no one ever says that about me. Oh my God, he was just like that. Oh, thank God, my sister, everybody's dead. Thank God they're all dead. No, he's like, this was the way he was when he was haven't you ever heard that about a family member? They go, this is the way he was when he was 7. I don't know what, but I have my hand on it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
my grandmother, when she had almost like a nervous breakdown after a heart operation.
Yeah.
Then
she reverted to almost 7.
No, she became very not nice.
Yeah.
Around the house. I can't, she came out of the hospital not nice. And
so they removed her pretensions.
Yes. And then my father goes, yeah, this is the way she was when I was a kid. If you're enjoying yourself now, this is the way she was when I was a kid all the time. So I think there were problems in the family. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was some problems. But, yes. That, why is that? I wonder what the medical thing about that is. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just a rumor that people are going back to the way they used to be. No, I think that happens in dementia sometimes. That people don't necessarily go back to the way they used to be, but sometimes they may get angrier or they may get happier.
Yes, or both in the same day.
That's right. I'm not an expert. Am I so not an expert that I'm belittling the subject? No, my uncle had. I saw my uncle go through the whole thing, and that was very hard. I don't know. I don't know. Let's not bring things down any more than they have to be. You know. I'm not worried about dementia, and I don't worry about dementia, and I don't worry about how bright I am. You know what I mean?
You just said that, Eddie.
This is the thing that I think people don't know about you is how much you will relish pranking me.
No. When you no longer get it, I'm off the case. I'm not someone who just uses the ill as a puppet for my comedy.
Go in there with this 1962 calendar and ask him.
The Giants won the pennant. The Giants won the pennant.
Oh my goodness! Hey, that was the first example of the Houston Astros cheating. Was back then.
Yeah, wow.
With the Robbie Thompson.
Right.
You get the joke there?
Well, there's certainly a legend that there was sign stealing going on, and I think he actually might have said it was.
Do you know you just did sign stealed delivered? I'm yours. That was a good fake laugh.
He's having a good day.
He is. Lemmy used to do this thing. I don't know where the derivation of it was, but it was always very depressing, but it made me laugh where he would do the impression of a guy on his 80th birthday and he had a little cake.
Yeah.
And he was even able to smile. It's so sad. And I never, does it ring a bell to you?
Vaguely.
Right, but just the whole idea that he was feeling so good he even tried a little cake.
Right.
Oh my God. Dave Letterman has a very, has turned his depressing worldview. See, if Leno had gone the same direction where he would go into his pain and get the comedy, but Leno wanted to go the fake route. Everything's going.
Well, I don't think Leno will cop to any pain.
No, that's true. That's true. It's not like it's not like I could do this other set.
Pain all goes into the weakness category for Leno, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because and the thing is, there must be some kind of a medical condition where you construct a fake life. Like you construct a fake personality. Like, just a guy who checks in at the office. I'm sorry, I can't do them anymore.
It's called manhood, Andy.
Oh.
We're all living a lie. We're all just living a constructed lie. What we all are is like your mean grandma with all the pretension stripped away.
That's true.
At our core.
Oh,
we're scared old women with an edge.
I hope what you're saying isn't true. Because that is kind of like the fear is like, my mother, come closer, Eddie, come closer. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Tell your brother to get one of his Manhattan doctors here right now. Did you know there were a whole slew of doctors who just walk around and they will euthanize people?
It is. It's like Uber, but with doctors.
That's the premium.
Right.
We will send somebody, a Dr. Kevorkian looking guy. Now, I always feel like, am I wrong, Josh, that he's not a guy you would want to doze off in front of? What decade of comedy is this? The 80s?
That's late 80s comedy, yeah.
And let me tell you this story that, John Ridley, right?
Yeah.
And we were writing, we were like a writing team. We submitted for...
Sorry.
Why did you laugh at that? You don't laugh that early into the anecdote.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So it was I think it was for In Living Color. I think it may have been that we were, auditioning to be a writing team for them. And so he came up with this idea of the suicide machine, like a portable suicide machine, like anytime on the go when you want to kill yourself.
Right.
And they said to us in the middle of this meeting, well, what would that look like?
Right.
And told the story
No,
before?
no.
Okay. I said, well, what would it look like? And then so we both did a version of, it would have like little things coming out of it. We couldn't understand the question. What would it physically look like? That stumped us.
Right. Like, what's the joke that people will see that you should have thought through?
No, you're taking their side.
What can we tell our prop department? Make a thing.
But I like also how we.
I did have to take their side there. Yes, by the way.
Whose side?
In Living Color side.
You don't think I'm making this up that I never had this audition? Because there's no other show that it would be for, I don't think.
It could be Mad TV, maybe. But I believe it could have been Living Color. And I believe they were like, we aren't hiring staff writers, but we're putting two disparate people together and paying them as a team so we can get two people. Someone's
name was Tamara.
Yeah.
You remember that name?
No.
I thought you would remember it. Oh, that would have been so good. If we could trade show business stories like those two guys who had that show, Peter King. No, not Peter King. Joe. It was the two guys. One of the guys used to be married to Barbara Streisand. Peter Guba.
Yeah.
And who was the other idiot?
Wasn't it John Peters that was with Barbara Streisand?
Yeah. Was it?
I believe so, yeah.
No, okay, so it's the other guy in that team, though.
Yeah.
There was when they had their
Goober
team.
Peters, but I think John Peters was the one that was connected with Barbara Streisand.
There's no such thing as Tom Peters.
I said John.
Oh, you did, John. Okay. I wish you could. See, this is why I should have gotten into a podcast with someone older than me.
So you could correct them?
Yes, I don't like being the stumbling one. I didn't think I would be the decrepit one.
I'll start taking NyQuil before the show.
Yesterday I was talking. Sorry, yesterday I was talking to Susan.
Yeah.
About
who else, by the way?
So she starts. I tell her about that. We talk about my penis. She's not, and she starts to get really unhappy that she hates it. This is the initial reaction. She hates it. What am I doing? What am I talking about? But then she's disarmed by my impression of you doing Droopy.
Okay. Just put her on the phone with me.
She laughs so. Who did so sad? whatever it is. Oh my God. She started to laugh so hard. I said, now you realize the comedy gold.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about being embarrassed. This is comedy gold.
Right.
Oh, that was good. Oh, she's a fan of you.
I'm very happy
of your
about
stuff.
that. No, but honey, he does his voice.
It's so great. You can't wait. I mean, you can wait. I mean, something like that.
Yeah, I'll have to wait.
Great. Are we going to questions this quick, or what are we going to do?
Since you said it, you made it real.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Okay, Pickles says, am I right?
Yeah.
Pickles says, they say kids say the darndest things, but I say parents are narcissists who think their spawned shit don't stink. Oh, also, what's your favorite Christmas cookie? I didn't expect the first question to be so, in your face.
Yeah.
And with the language. That's not the Pickles I remember.
All right. But I would tend to agree with Pickles that most stories about what people's kids say aren't good.
They're really terrible. That's true. So,
and on the second question, One-Eyed Susan.
What's that?
My answer to the second question. One-Eyed Susan.
Is your favorite Christmas cookie?
Yes.
What, is that a cookie?
I believe it's that sort of peanut buttery sugar cookie with the Hershey's Kiss on top.
I didn't know there was a name for that one. I like the ones with the...
I might have imagined it, I'll be honest. But I like a cookie that sounds like a pirate.
I do enjoy, and I do, as a general rule, enjoy Christmas cookies. And when my sister's health was better, she would make them every year. And oh my God, they were so great.
Right. But speaking of health being better, Andy, don't load up on Christmas cookies.
Oh, no. No. I have everything under control. By the way, neither the lemon meringue pie was a tough one.
Yeah, you said that was not so good.
All right. Sorry. Okay. All right. You do the next. I'm going to see if you can read one of these. Are you having a concert over there?
No, I'm not.
Oh, my laugh is just terrible. Let me see how you are reading a question, and then we'll see if we can continue with it.
Sous Vide says, "Hey, Marge Simpson, how is Homer and Zuzu?"
This should be something that I know.
That's for you. That's you have to do your world famous Marge Simpson impression now.
Look, Homer. Look, Homer. Introduce me again.
Here's Andy Kindler with his world famous Marge Simpson impression.
Oh, Homer.
That has been Andy Kindler with his world famous Marge Simpson impression.
Look, you stupid. I wish it was legal for me to break your fingers, Susie. It's like you're stabbing the piano. Are you trying to kill the piano? Oh, God, there's something wrong with everything I'm doing. But you know what? That's what makes it so right. Esai, 76, says, as much as Paul was a control freak? That can't be the question. I'm going to try this again. Esai, do you say Esai? Esai?
Esai is correct.
Esai, that's one of my favorite voices you do, which is the patient, over the guy who's in charge of the crazy man.
I like to. It's my George Fenneman on You Bet Your Life.
You went older than me. As much as Esai 76 says, as much as Paul was a control freak, I feel he was also trying to keep the band together. During the "and then there were two" part, he was tearing up, which I found endearing. John was such a goofball, I'm surprised he ever got it together to complete a song. Now I wish I had signed up for the package.
Yeah. I think there's still plenty to enjoy.
Yeah, go ahead. You take it.
I totally agree that Paul was trying to keep the band together. And he was in the unenviable position of being the only person who really wanted the band to stay together and was willing to be proactive about it.
Yeah. Yes. And he deserves some credit for that.
And I think the other thing that was going on, George and John had realized that it was easier to make music outside of the band because then Paul wouldn't get his hands on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of see that. Like John brought in a demo for Across the Universe, and I think that was the single. I mean, I think that was the record.
Oh, wow.
But you never heard him playing it again.
So they had their own they had their own not their own machinations. It was a difficult time for everybody.
Well, it wasn't. They all had money in studios at home,
I thought they were broke. I thought that they were broke, except for John, Lennon and McCartney.
No, they were doing okay.
Oh, okay. That must be one of those myths I learned at one point.
Yeah.
That until they got their own publishing, and
they never did get their own publishing.
Right, but until they, what about Apple?
Well, yeah. When they never got their publishing back on stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
They tried to get the rights back to Anna. Yeah, well, how about Chains? Boom. My baby's got me locked up in chains. Why am I trying to prove that, yes, I know a couple of obscure Beatles songs, and they're not even that obscure. Everyone knows these songs.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Eastside 76. Oh, wait, he's back again a second. Oh, wait. If there's any more Beatles stuff, I'd like to hear it, we can sprinkle it throughout the
I think
letter.
we'll probably encounter it again.
All right, so you read Eastside 76's second missive.
BBC's Ghosts, Andy mentioned last test show, is really great. I think Andy was mentioning the American version. 3 seasons of a very funny deconstruction of the haunted house theme. It's a big recommend. CBS has an American version of the show. It's meh, but appears to be a hit. They got a full season order.
Well, I think I just got the Riot Act read to me. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel served. You know what it was? I think I saw the whole lineup. Is it a CBS? Yeah. The whole lineup, and it seemed as if a crazy person, it was like a desperate crazy person had said, I'm going to solve this. Nobody watches network television.
Well, and I think your criticism of the show never went beyond, who wants to see that? Ghost.
Wait, that's not the way I don't think I mean, that seems to be not the way I talk. Yeah, it just seemed like Ghosts, and then
who wants to? I have a bit about Ghosts on another channel. Who wants to see?
If I can't root against new network shows, what do I have left?
It's true. You have nothing.
When was the last time there was?
I concede. You have nothing else.
Oh no! Don't even. Just because my wife loves you, don't get us. I know one thing. You won't be able to get. What's that?
It's a start.
Well, I just don't want you to get a swelled head. If I
could do that, I wouldn't need the talcum powder.
I feel bad for the kids, the comics today, that they don't have as much sneezing powder, talcum powder.
Right.
They don't have those references.
Right.
And I think you can see how it suffers.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Wade, is Dan Wade the Wheel of Randy?
I'll let you figure that out, but yes.
I have a date on the Wheel of Randy.
Do you?
Yes, coming up.
That's good.
What do I want? Like an applause break?
And what song are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. We haven't gone over that. So I picked the song.
I think so, yeah.
All right, that'll be easy for me. I got very scared that we were going to have a roulette wheel or something going, and then I have to know songs I don't know, like the Brodsky Quartet. I don't know anything off of that.
That Elvis Costello did?
Dan Wade says, "Hey guys, as much as I'd hate to ruin the theater of the mind, I love it if 1 week questions were submitted in audio format. I can't help but think that Television Savalas has a mellifluous baritone. Or that sous vide sounds like Tom Waits on helium. The people are going all out with these questions now. Hey, Homer. There it is, right? Homer.
Oh, yeah. In the pocket.
So I could probably go out and get some, like, video game Simpsons work.
If there was like a zombie Marge Simpson that just wandered around saying Homer, then yeah.
That amused me. That really got me. Hey, what if Homer Simpson took acid? I'll write the act and then you punch it up.
All right. Per Dan Wade's question, if you'd like to send in an audio question, I will certainly entertain playing it as such on the show. It's not a guarantee.
It is not a guarantee, but I always look forward to it.
I would say keep it brief if you're choosing to do that.
He's already annoyed Josh. Well, Jen was the first person I knew who would send me these because she's from a younger generation. She's a millennial or a Generation Y.
No, she's Gen X.
Oh, Gen X.
Yeah.
And they send out. That's what they do. That's what they do. Everything's a voice memo. What do you think?
Yeah. Wookie Talkie says...
what do you think of that horrible answer I just gave?
I think Wookie Talkie says, can an unusual flavor be a category of TV commercials? And can it include fruit roll-ups and Flintstones vitamins?
I don't even understand. This is, I feel like my mind is now, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, last week you said you were starting to categorize TV commercials.
Oh, yeah, because you have your, well, first of all, you have a slew of catheters commercials now.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I can't walk out of my house without someone sticking a catheter in a sample catheter. It's like with the perfume things in the stores.
Uh-huh.
A guy comes up and he slips a polished catheter in your penis.
And that's not cool.
It's just something terrible about your relationship with that voice.
Well, now that I know that I've got positive feedback, my fire is stoked.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Hey, maybe Susan should be a guest on the show.
Maybe.
I don't think she
Or a host.
Oh. Who? All right, so you covered that, right?
Yeah.
Seth Dick III says, is James Mason going back to being a department store Santa after missing 2020 to COVID? Great question, as they say in the political show.
Well, I don't think it's a great question. I think it's a jab at me. I think he's trying to hit a sore spot. I think he knows that ever since the Lolita incident, I've not been allowed to interact with young children.
You may is it for the first time you've taken some of the polish off of James Mason personality.
I'm not saying it's justice. I'm saying it's the facts.
Do you is that how you found out about how good Thunderbird was when you were offering some to a child?
Yes, when I was trying to play a young girl.
And
without a hit to my pocketbook.
I did appreciate a lot of the COVID images you had there. You had the shots. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of things going on in that joke.
Yeah.
That impression. M. Bledsom says, Happy Hanukkah, gents. Well, she makes a Jewish holiday sound so
British.
posh. I can't imagine. Thank you, M.
Thank you, M.
I can't imagine.
Toda Rabbah, M.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine Hanukkah in England.
They boil potato latkes there.
Yeah, well, you don't hear about the great delis in England, right?
No, you don't.
Right.
Alberto Salas says, Andy mentioned the Cooper Stills and Bloomfield album Super Session a couple episodes back, and I gotta agree, as he said, it is, quote, good or something. A very bluesy jazz instrumental album with plenty of horns and 60s vibes to it. It particularly rocks on vinyl.
Oh my God, that's cool. Alberto that you have a vinyl setup at home there. And I wish I could add anything to it. I just remember the album cover and the font on it.
Yeah. And then apparently it was good or something.
It was excellent. You had Gerald Cooper.
Uh-huh.
Can't think of one song from it now. But it was a bluesy jazz instrumental album with plenty of horns and the 60s vibe to it. That's why I do remember that.
Yeah.
And one thing I did that sticks out in my mind, I remember that it particularly did rock on vinyl. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say one more time before they take away abortion rights. It was a nice run.
I was.
Yeah.
I know you tend to panic, but don't go out and stock up on abortions.
I have so many. OCD is nothing but Plan B items. I have 8 doses of Plan B, and neither one of my wife. I think we could reproduce now, but just in case.
Right.
Jason lacking Christmas spirit. Oh, pardon, Jason. Why? Have either of you seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? What's that? What is that song?
I don't know. Sounds like a lyric, but I don't know what it's from.
Go to sunny day on the sun. It's that song. On the sunny day.
No.
A sunny. No,
it's not.
That's got the rain, doesn't it?
That's lazing, not raining.
Lazing on us. Oh God. Now I know why the 60s was not my time period. I don't have a beautiful voice for the 60s. It really is for this time
Or a
period.
50-year memory.
What's that?
Or a 50-year memory.
My memory is like a steel trap. Huh? Don't call me Boopsy, says, asks, implies, intimates, because everyone's been waiting for it. Here's my take on Paul McCartney. He was mean to my mom when she met him. I can't believe I'm reading this. So he can eat a bowl of dick up. That is...
I think he can eat a bowl of dick up. Like eat up, I guess.
Oh, I don't think that's a great joke. I don't think that's classic phrasing of the old dick up, bowl of dick up. I didn't know this. I did not know.
How could you? How could you, Andy?
I couldn't have known.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It's not my fault? All right. Well, this is the first, it's on. That's all I'm going to say. It's on.
Yeah. Well, I won't condemn him. Don't call me Boopsy, but I will approach him with proper suspicion.
Because how old is he? I mean, is he 90? What is his mom? How old could his mom be? Now I'm just saying things that could be possibly damaging.
Julian Valentich says, I've yet to listen to Test Show 233. Then what are we talking about here? Oh, but between that and this app, I assume you've done some hot takes on the new Beatles doc. So what other albums creation do you wish you had similarly intimate footage of, and why?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean, that's like requires compound thinking. Things like that. I don't know. What band?
I don't know how many albums are that interesting to watch. I think this had a lot more context to it in terms of connection to the band. But I don't know. I think if it starts with any band's last album, I think it'd be interesting to watch. Although Rumors wasn't the last album, and that had a lot of drama going down.
Yeah, I just think that also it's like we have so much footage of the Beatles more than any other. Not more than any other group, but like I don't know how many behind the scenes things that were even made by then. The Beatles were. Not a lot, you said?
Not a lot. I get, that Metallica album that was coming together in some kind of monster was a good example of enjoying watching that was so great. Unfold.
That's still. Oh, I know I'm going to watch that again very soon.
But the other thing about the Beatles doc that occurred to me after my last dump of info about it was just how much the the director of the doc influenced the events that were taking place.
Oh, the guy at the time.
Michael Lindsay Hogg, yeah. So.
Oh, okay. What was going on?
And so I think that's another reason why Let It Be isn't a true picture of what happened at the time. No, he was just, I mean, he was very much interacting with these guys throughout, trying to push them to make a decision for what this concert was going to be, and trying, making the documentary an issue as to if it's going to be interesting, and all the things that I wouldn't do as a doc director,
Yeah, like he's heightening the drama. He's raising the stakes.
He is adding stress to the situation simply by being there and being in these guys' ears.
I mean, they're with you saying that.
And he deserves to be a character in the doc, which he isn't in Let It Be, but is very much in Peter Jackson's thing.
Oh, that's cool. This is I can't wait to see it. Well, I can wait because I haven't.
Because he's definitely part of the story of why it was a slightly oppressive atmosphere for them.
I do love how, I'm sure this is true with all of so many things in history that creates so much interesting tension, like the one, even The Last Waltz, which I love that. I mean, so much, but that there were different agendas, and Neil Diamond, Martin Scorsese was doing something. I forget, but they had other things going on that were reasons why there were people that they wanted with
Neil Diamond was a record company pick, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all these different agendas. And that was a great documentary too.
It was, I think of it more of a concert film than a doc.
You're right.
And it's a fine line, because a concert film is essentially a documentary of a concert, but.
Well, you have Scorsese also in more investigator mode,
Yeah, I mean, there were Q&A segments within it, but I still feel like it's more of a concert film than a doc. But
yeah, and I would not.
But it's probably a better document about in terms of agenda and voice. It's probably a better portrait of what was going on than Robbie Robertson's doc about the band, which was very Robbie Robertson centric.
Yeah, I can remember that right now. Oh, very true, my friend. Everything you say is true, and what you don't say, I don't know why I'm doing this. Mozart.
Do you want me to do this multi-parter?
Yeah, please do.
It's more Mozart to Beatles. Screed. I think we're up to Screed now. Since it came up last show and you'll be talking about the Beatles this week, I have a partial answer about Paul and John disputing who wrote what. I think there are 4 songs that they have different versions of, but I know the 2 off the top of my head. John claims to have written most of the lyrics for Eleanor Rigby, while Paul claims most all of it. Most all, in parentheses. Ringo and George each claim a line, too, and their claims seem credible. Paul claims to have written the music for In My Life after John had written the lyrics out. Apparently, John also claimed 2 of Us, which is baffling because 1, he didn't write it, and 2, what an odd song to claim, even though I think it's greatly underappreciated like most of them.
I love that song.
Thanks for all the reflections on the doc and, for everything. Wow.
Aww.
Thank you, Mozart. I definitely think Paul McCartney wrote Eleanor Rigby, for example, but I also think he asked John for help with the names. Because he had Father McCartney and Daisy May Hawkins as the name, So, and I think that's how their partnership worked a lot. It was the same with when he was writing Get Back in the movie. He's asking for, it was JoJo Jackson. It was, it was Loretta Marsh. It was,
Right. I'm just glad he didn't stick with scrambled eggs.
Yeah. I wish you wouldn't.
That sounds. You just said something that is very dad-like. Yeah. I wish you'd stop it.
Well, I think your dad and I were soulmates on that sentiment.
Stephen Elton Yates says, "Hey gents, if you were offered a free flight to space like the one Shatner took, would you go?" I would say. Here I'm going to predict. I would say no, and I think you would say yes.
Yes, I would say yes.
And can you see me saying yes? No.
I can't see you saying yes, really.
Susan, can I talk to Susan one more time, please? I don't want to go fast. I don't want to go, shake me up. I bet Shatner was great up in space doing, helping out with all the experiments.
Sure. Sabotage the system. Spock, sabotage the system.
What you may not know. Hi, I'm William Shatner. What you may not know is that this is the Medicare Part C period. Won't he?
You also may not know that I have sleep apnea.
What won't he endorse? That's my thing.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, just welcoming Andy into the almost doing keto club. I've been a member for 20 years. I used to go through a few pints of Halo Top a week until I tried the plain vanilla. It tasted okay, but had the texture of frozen Maalox. Haven't had a scoop since.
They've gotten way better. They've gotten way better now. I know the Halo Top is very mixed results on heavy trading.
Yeah, it's very flavor dependent.
Exactly. And I had one that was cookies and cream I didn't like. I like vanilla, anything vanilla-y. But there's one called Rebel that has a very good brand.
Yeah.
Have you tried it, Rebel?
No, I don't do the keto ice cream.
Oh. Why did I think you did? Oh, because you don't have the sweet tooth problem. And you don't have diabetes.
Right.
I knew it was something to do with that. I knew I was close.
I'm the one that just does a really small portion of regular ice cream.
Well, aren't we? Aren't we everything that we should be and even more? So you're good with portion. I knew you were good with portion control.
I'm not good with portion controls, but I'm good with portion control with ice cream.
Yes, and sweets in general is what I got the feeling.
I would say, yeah. I'm not a big binger, but I do crave them.
Ooh. George from Washington, D.C. says, what is your credit card strategy? Cashback? Airline miles? Hotel points? Call me Sam Jackson, who must have generational wealth. But what's in your wallet? Do you get the Sam Jackson generational wealth comment?
I think it's just he's very rich because of all the work he does, particularly in credit card ads in this case.
Yes. But it's interesting, and it's not interesting, but I happen to have been going through that right now because I'm looking at the different strategies, and there's no free lunch, really. But
yeah.
I didn't realize that some of the cash backs just go to or maybe all of them just go to their rewards programs. I thought you got actual 6% back or something.
Well, you can. You can cash in points as if, there's an exchange rate for points to cash.
Right.
But you have to do it through your rewards thing.
Yes. And I have American Airlines. I got like 200,000 miles just like, burning a hole in my American Airlines account. I'm not flying anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't this interesting?
I got the same going with American.
Man. Well, we'll have to see what Omicron has to say about all this.
I still have all my American points from my Chinese documentary.
Oh, wow. Can you believe how long ago that was now? Or
no, I can't.
Man, I say.
But I guess, I don't know. I've done all of the above over the years with various cards. And, I think the one I have now is just like, it does a bunch of points, and then you can do various things with the points.
Yeah. I do every once in a while. I'll get like a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or AirPods. I've gotten 2 sets of AirPods from my rewards programs.
Yeah.
So you do the math on it.
Jordy says 5, 6, 7, H. Schlemiel, Schlemazel. Andy, as a football announcing expert, what are you hearing about Amazon pairing of Al Michaels and Troy Aikman for Thursday night games? Do you think Gus Johnson should get promoted to better assignments than Jets games? And Jordy, I don't appreciate this question.
Why not?
Because it is prompting you to talk about football announcers.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. I will take that. I'll take it from here. I don't understand. I think I've said it all, but I think the most incisive commentary I've had is that Troy Aikman sounds like John Madden at half speed.
That really is a classic.
Hey, do you think this is a funny parody, though? Half speed. That's how I listen to podcasts. Half speed. They come down, you adjust the speed. Bullshit rules against me since the day I was born. Half speed.
Yeah, but nobody listens to podcasts half speed.
No, I know there was an incorrect premise hanging out there somewhere. So close.
I like this, but it's just too fast.
Well, maybe it's a guy made a mistake. He made a mistake and then he just got addicted to it. Half speed. Slow down, I tell those podcasters. Well, it's not as easy as it looks writing song parodies.
It's a gift. It's really a gift you have to have or don't. Greg Kelly says President Biden was in the next town over from me yesterday. I'm in Eagan, and he was in Rosemount, Josh, if you recall the South Metro. Anyway, he didn't call me to say he'd be in town. Seems rude. Do you have friends that come to town but don't call? How would I know? How would I know?
Sorry, I stepped on your line there. I hope people don't call. Don't you? Is that what you hope?
It depends on the person. I've had my feelings. I've had my feelings hurt a couple times over the life.
No, it was fine. And I just want to say one more time, I really don't have a problem with it, Mom, or something like that.
Right. I think that's the best way out.
I covered it up very nicely. Miss, is this the first question from Miss Al Boogie?
Might be.
Miss Al Boogie. Holy crap, J. Elvis. I forget which of the last 3 episodes you said this in, but you had a bit about how finishing something is its own creative process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I heard that this week and I so needed it right on time. This is a wonderful, I don't even think we've had many of these before.
Where people actually got some value of some kind? I love it. Yes.
I'm so excited. I barely talk.
There was some takeaway. There was a takeaway, Andy.
What?
No, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Thank you. I'm glad that makes me happy.
And a truer statement could not. I will add on to that. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was watching David.
By the way, she tagged it with a second tweet that says "Thought Spiral every Monday morning, baby."
I don't know if I mentioned that there's a thing called The Unexplained Mind on Netflix, and one of them had David Byrne talking about the creative process, and he said like Brian Eno's thing was like you're gardening, so like when you're making something, it's like gardening. You're kind of seeing where it goes as opposed to trying to shape it.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Forget my version of it.
No, you thought it was called Monday too, so it must be.
God damn it! Why can't you just stop me, you son of a fucking bitch? That's the worst. Oh my God, how much pleasure! How you derive the pleasure from that?
I don't.
No, you do.
But I try
do.
But I'm constantly navigating what's the not meanest way to do it. And
I know.
And then I pull the rug out from under myself at the end.
Well, I say kudos to you with being so nice. And it's a good dry run for when I do lose it.
Right.
Jennifer Hansen, I woke up to and Andy Kindler followed you. Notification on Twitter. I'm so happy he saw me. Is that a natural song? I'm so happy he saw me too. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
You don't get Jennifer's joke. He saw me too.
That's a great joke. Why can't I get jokes? He saw me too. Because I don't think I think even if I wasn't self-involved and narcissistic, I'd have trouble with some of those because of the dementia. All right, bring us home.
Perush.
Well, not even home. Yeah, home.
Perush. I'm waiting.
The Perush is on fire.
Perush has 2 questions. One's more of a comment. Cliff Nestoroff, more like Clips Nestoroff, am I right? He says.
I really think that if I die, Perush should continue me on.
Yeah, when can we make that happen? Oh.
Oh.
Wait, what? And then Bruce also asks, how many past bits / recurring gags from the show does Andy have no knowledge of now?
That's so terrible. Okay, let's run him down.
Mr. Weinstein.
I know. I remember him. Okay. Mr. Weinstein, come in here, please.
Yeah, it wasn't that voice, but sure.
Karen.
Karen, he remembers. They look like.
I'm sorry.
Zuzu.
So, get out of here, Zuzu. No, I'm not quite getting it, but, Zuzu's the youngest child, right? Well, you're right, Zuzu. You're right. You're right, Zuzu. An angel gets its thing.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobber.
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 And the classic Droopy.
Aww.
Already spoken about today.
Wow. You know, I miss the days when, people are constantly questioning my memory, but I miss the days when Perush would write in.
Should we do a couple of letters?
Please do.
All right.
If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Sorry.
Okay. Don asks, I hope Josh had fun coming to the Twin Cities for the 30th anniversary of Acme. I had a great time seeing 3 of my favorite comics, Josh, Jackie Cation, and Erica Rhodes. The 4th comedian was also very funny, but I have forgotten his name. Do you remember? I hope you return soon, Andy. I hope you and Andy return soon for a full headlining set. Great to be able to get out once again and laugh with the people again. Zoom performances are okay and have added bonus of seeing other people in their living room, but not enough to replace live comedy. All the best. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
The other comic was Brian Miller. Brian with a Y.
I don't know that person.
Huh?
I don't know that person.
I bet you've met him at Acme when you were there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And you're just too rude to remember.
Oh, I just can't sometimes because I'm so busy.
And I'm glad you came out. Thanks, Don.
Thank you. And I hope to be back there, but I'm not committing yet. People are waiting on tenterhooks for when I'm coming back.
Jonathan Berman says, FYI, not cotton candy grapes, and then he tags a news article about a cotton candy lobster that was found. Andy also, has Andy made anything of the white noise generator? There's a cheap joke in there somewhere. Luckily, I'm a civilian and can't figure it out.
I have done a couple of white noise jokes.
Yeah,
but I can't remember the quality. What was the other part of the question?
There's nothing.
Oh. Well, thank you for that.
John says, I can't decide whose impersonation is more spot on, Andy's Michael Silverblatt or Josh's James Mason. Thanks to Josh for only being a damp blanket while discussing the Sparks Brothers. I hope Josh loves the new Elvis Costello single as much as I do.
Oh.
I'm not sure which is his new single, but I liked the new stuff I heard at the concert.
Oh, and I also heard another new album that just came. Oh, someone was talking about that Dylan's album in 2020 was great, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
Dylan's album in 2020?
Yeah, his last album.
I don't.
All right, so. All right.
I think it's isn't it that one with like the 17-minute JFK song and the.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know that. I think you're right. Maybe I'll have to do some other research on it.
Brian says, I can sympathize with the looking at Josh's windows anxiety when walking past Josh's house that Andy talked about in Test Show 232. About a month ago, I was taking out the garbage, and on my walk back in, happened to look up at my neighbor's second-story window just as she looked down at me. She angrily flung the curtain closed, and since then, every trip out there has been an anxiety-filled don't look up fest. Or I have looked up inadvertently or not, and either been relieved to see there's no one there or the curtain already drawn. Mind you, no words were spoken between us. No one came over to confront me and accuse me of anything of spying on her. And for all I know, angrily is just how she closes a curtain. I started to realize after a few weeks that this was no way to live, but I wasn't sure how to resolve this. But thankfully, last Saturday, a for sale sign went up. So phew, bullet dodged.
That's so great. And I relate to every part of that. Every part of that. How there's the guy who I yelled hello to when I was jogging, who never answered me, but he could have been deaf. You know, it's like all these different things that you don't know. But that is a classic OCD thing, and the classic thing that would have in my 20s had me like thinking about it for weeks.
And speaking of
purposely looking weird.
And speaking of anxiety, Esai is back in letter form this time. Happy Thanksgiving, he says. Due to very bad panic attacks, I gave up my easy-ass job working from home, taking customer service calls for Hulu Disney Plus before that. It was so easy for me but I lost my patience. I hate to admit that my mind is too fragile. Now I am working way more hours and very difficult work, but doesn't require fake enthusiasm. Therefore, I am having a much easier time mentally. So, very thankful to the both of you. One of the big reasons that I hang on is because I have the Thought Spiral podcast to look forward to every week. If only Orson Welles could give me a few words of encouragement.
Well, that's
76. Just P.S. What is a gonk?
Well, what is a gonk?
What is a gonk? A gonk? A gonk? What's a gonk? You got a gonk? Well, my friend Esai 76, I admire that you've gone the route of sincerity as opposed to ease and insincerity. Gonk.
Well, let me ask you this, Orson Welles. Don't you feel bad?
Yes, my little diminutive friend.
Well, that wasn't very nice, but
and it was redundant as well.
True. I mean, I think it's implied. But don't you feel a little bad about you lived over at Peter Bogdanovich's house, and then you go on like I think Johnny Carson, and you slam him or something, or you went on. Well, is that a polite way to repay a friend who put you up for all that time?
Well, I've written him 2 letters. One is a very long apology letter, and one is just says you deserved it.
That's a crazy man. I wrote you 2 letters, Peter.
Also, we're out of ice cream, Peter.
Now, if you had any cojones, you would have hung up there, but you don't have.
Well, I have business sense. If you'd like to support our show, please go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and do a one-time or an ongoing donation of support. Do you have anything you'd like to
Yes, I do. If you want a cameo of me. Both sides rules against me since the day I was born. Half speed.